Hi, I'm Zach Acaldi.
It's Andrew Scamilla.
Hi guys, I'm Mariela Soria.
And I'm Nyla Kawich.
What if I were to tell you there's a way to get the United States economy out of this recession? And it starts with the legalization of marijuana, particularly here in the state of California. The reason why it starts here in California is because the majority of the nation's economy is supported by this state alone. According to Econ Post, on their article of February 2011, the U.S. Department of Commerce estimates California's gross domestic product was close to $2 trillion, placing California as the world's 8th largest economy since 2009. Considering the nation is still in a recession, then California is to blame also, since it's also backing the United States for what is an 1/8 of the world's economy. So with the United States number 1 in the GDP table, California is also partially to blame. What can help boost our state and national economy is if we decide to follow suit with the states that have decided to follow the pattern of legalizing marijuana. Since states like Washington and Colorado have approved the medicinal drug to be sold within their boundaries, there have been outstanding results regarding the revenue. Compare those numbers to what is easily the most populated state in the country, and those results can help boost our economy as a whole. What we will be discussing is why it is necessary for marijuana to be legal, what group is holding the process of having it legalized, and those solutions for citizens that want to have marijuana to support our economy.
Marijuana has to be legal in order to help get this state and this nation out of the recession that it is currently suffering from. Just by looking at the 2 most recent states that have marijuana legalized, how can we afford not selling it? As Aaron Smith of CNN Money reports in his article of February 2014 about the state of Colorado, it expects to take in $184 million in tax revenue from marijuana in the first 18 months after legalization. And much of that money will be funneled into teaching kids to stay away from pot. The law to have the legalization of marijuana in the state of Colorado was passed on September 9, 2013, after the result of how well the state of Washington, once they passed their state laws during the 2012 elections in November. According to Matthew Dupree of Policy Mike, in his article from November of 2013, Washington officials estimate the state will rake in $300 million in revenue for the 2014 fiscal year. This is a critical issue as all 50 states hold a combined $4.19 trillion of the national debt. New York and California, 2 states that have passed 420-friendly laws, medical marijuana only, are hundreds of billions in dollars of debt. Aside from New York problems, our state's problems is not legalizing marijuana. Therefore, the people who stand in the way of not passing the legalization of marijuana in this state have a strong influence on voters.
Voters in California rejected an effort to legalize medical marijuana. On November 3, 2010, the Washington Post staff stated that individuals responsible for the rejection of legalizing marijuana in California are older voters with conservative leanings that rejected Proposition 19 in 2010, which was aiming to legalize marijuana. Their concerns are that marijuana is a health risk factor. But really, marijuana has not been proven to kill individuals as opposed to legal substances such as alcohol and tobacco. Furthermore, opponents to legalizing marijuana also included Mothers Against Drunk Driving, most law enforcement agencies, all of California's major party candidates for governor and U.S. Senate, and the California League of Cities. Their concern consists of threats targeting public safety, violation of federal laws, and drug-free workplaces, and wouldn't generate much tax revenue at all. Nevertheless, what people failed to see is how marijuana would dramatically change California for good. What do you think, Nyla?
Well, Mariela, I think that legalizing marijuana in the state of California would be a smart and beneficial move for the state. California will be able to open up a whole new market of employment, would generate billions in additional tax revenue annually, and would be beneficial in the agricultural aspect. In 2010, according to an article from the Huffington Post, the Cato Institute, which is a libertarian think tank, stated that legalizing marijuana would generate $8.7 billion in federal and state tax revenue annually. California's debt is in the billions, high billions. So if Colorado has made almost $134 million on taxes in less than a year, with a population of only 5.1 million people, imagine the taxes that could be gained in California, a state with a population of almost 40 million people. So, in the agricultural aspect, the legalization of marijuana would also authorize the agriculture of hemp. Marijuana before it flowers, that's what it is. A versatile source of fiber, protein, biomass, and oil. It can help make paper and clothes, which would be twice as durable as cotton. And it can be grown in huge fields and in months be ready for use, as opposed to cutting down trees and which takes years to grow. The National Organization of the Reform of Marijuana stated, hemp production might well rival that of other leading crops, such as cotton or soybeans, which are currently on the order of $6 to $10 billion per year.
As previously stated, what can help boost our state and national economy is if we decide to follow suit with the states such as Colorado and Washington that they have recently decided to legalize marijuana and have had a positive impact to their revenue. Then all we would have to do is compare those numbers to what the population is here in California. From that, we will easily have an overly sufficient economy, both at the state and national level. We discussed why it is necessary for marijuana to be legal, what group is holding the process of having it legalized through the Proposition of 19 that was not passed in 2011, and the solutions for the citizens that want not to allow marijuana to support our economy. The idea of allowing this green substance into our society is beneficial and harmless compared to the other drugs, such as alcohol or cigarettes. So if we do decide to accept it into the market, think of how much more green we can be getting back.